All right. So we have a quorum and one today. Isabella is not here tonight, and Mike and Jean were also unable to make it this evening. On that note, spread the application far and wide. We have what, 9 we can have now? What Alex said? They've expanded the numbers of commissions to 9.
Up
So,
to 9.
Up
Nine
to
people?
9.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've got 5. So let's work on more. Okay, great. And we have Ariel Sophie. Welcome. Glad you're here tonight. And somebody on Zoom.
To the person on Zoom, if you would like to speak, please raise your hand.
I suppose we carry on unless we hear from them. Okay. Jerry.
Really don't have anything to report, other than, 120. There's a new logo that was decided by it was designed by Noble, who's our marketing. They're our marketing people at Stan Pulliam and his wife. I haven't seen it yet, but it was voted on by the Downtown Estacada Commission, and I think they sent it to you too. Nice. So so the logo will be used on anything and everything we do this year, and then moving forward, we'll just change the numbers. And if we decide that the logo needs to be tweaked, we can tweak it. We could change it all together, whatever. Yeah. I haven't seen it yet.
What shape is that? Hexagon shape?
That's the one I hope to do.
Yeah, I think most of the others were round. It was number 1.
Yeah. So so that's moving forward, at least on the for the events and stuff. The logo will be used, which is nice. We had a controversial council meeting. We spent the whole meeting talking about DEI. So it pretty much that was our whole last meeting. So I really don't have anything additional to report. One thing is I'm making a hard push this year for volunteerism. I'm going to be looking into different ways to retain, or to capture and retain as many volunteers as we can. So that's going to be one hard push for me this year. Hopefully I get some. I know Connie is in it with me. And then Melanie and Elena both said, we'll figure out ways to do it. If you have to close any streets for any events, DEC, Downtown Estacada Commission, is purchasing the actual barricades. And then they got donated the traffic wands. And then the city has the orange vests for use. So good stuff coming for street closure events and stuff. Better stuff for our street closure events. So
Well, let us know about the volunteer stuff, and if I think when we get going with volunteers for Arts at the Creek, we would love to be able to maybe add to our form, yes, I'm interested in being contacted for other volunteer opportunities. So any names we collect, we can contribute to the general database.
We're talking about stuff like holding a complete town hall just based on volunteers.
That's a great idea.
Great idea.
So
Everyone who sees this is when the meeting is. If you want to volunteer in the town in the next year, come out.
Yeah.
Or Zoom or do
The
whatever.
Conversation did come up at the Civics Academy thing, which I can talk a little bit about too.
Yeah. But that's all I got.
I think that's a good idea to have on all the volunteer forms, to be this is for obviously this event, but if you're interested, maybe not interested in this event, but for anything going forward in the city.
Well, it's kind of my thing about I keep wanting to add this to the bottom of a lot of our forms. Yes, I'd like to hear more. Yes, I can contact you, just so that we can collect those names and send them out make sure we're getting permission from people. But just so we don't all have to reinvent the wheel every year.
Yeah.
We're doing it for ourselves, but if we can combine other, yes, I'd be interested in other events run by other city commissions or,
Yeah.
something
I
like that.
feel like I've signed when I was a volunteer. you know, at summer celebration or something like that, years ago, there was a form where it was like, would you want to volunteer for parks? Would you want to volunteer for this? Would you want to volunteer for that?
And the city
And
has a form, but
I think I
it's-
checked off everything, just like, sure, yeah, I don't know, you know?
But it's not about volunteering.
For city
Yeah.
events.
I think it helps also for people that I approach about volunteering. They wanted to know, for example, what kind of help do you need? And so we could
Right.
give them just like 4 or 5 bullets. Here's things that could easily be
yeah, if it's
you know,
like
help.
day of help. Or
Yeah,
putting up fire
like
help
helping
or, yeah.
man a booth or person a booth
Mhm.
or a
Yeah.
cleanup or setup.
It's
or
one thing that
whatever.
I talked to Melanie and Elena about is like having you know, if you're interested in volunteering, click here on the website. You click here, and then it pulls up a list of events that we need volunteers for. And then you click on the event you want to volunteer for, and then it, you know, opens up another thing that says, okay, this is what we need. We need, you know, people to, you know, help blockade the roads. We need people, you know, the Christmas tree lighting. We need people to serve hot cocoa. We need, you know,
Yeah.
that type of
something like
thing.
that.
And then have like specific hours that they can volunteer
You're
for,
available,
you know, and then you know, stuff like that. That's the type of thing that I want to try to get in and implement.
That would be awesome.
Let us know how we can help with our end because we're more than happy to contribute that.
I appreciate that.
I think also if there's an area of how they can give back to the city, like here's some gifts and talents or things I'm interested in that I would like to share or have opportunity to share, be it
Yeah.
as a
Contact-
musician or whatever, just they list their 5 things that they would like, be willing to give out. But
Yeah, like
So-
contact me about this. And that.
yeah, something like that.
Great. All right. Will everyone take a quick look at the February
Mhm.
minutes?
Yes, I was wondering, but then I realized the one was the big meeting, the
Yeah,
planning
ones
meeting,
are
right?
planning
Yeah.
meeting.
Mhm.
I read that.
I move to approve the minutes from February 5th.
Second.
All right, those in favor?
Aye.
Andy?
Oh, huh, I forgot I was vice chair.
Do you still?
Learn
consent?
something new every day. Yes, fine. I think I wrote down everything else that I agreed to.
Just like in Page, pretty soon you're gonna lead the whole thing.
Oh, my God. I hope not.
Watch out. That's
then it
how I
went-
ended up.
Because
over
then it
here.
went downhill and I was like, ah. I felt like being in front of like the car on the hill, like, oh gosh. This is not good.
I wrote them, so I can't move to approve them.
I move to approve the planning meeting minutes.
Second.
All right, those in favor?
I,
All
Aye.
right, minutes are approved. We do have our financial statement here. And, it does reflect our grant. I'm saying that, yes, it does reflect the grant. Woo! Which is great. And do you want to summarize our conversation with Sadie? Should we just,
oh,
and
that'd
Alex?
be great. I was wondering about that.
Yes, okay,
As
so,
long as we're in the financial piece
yeah,
of this.
talking about finances. The city's kind of moving toward somewhat of a new system, a little bit more clarified, so we won't see an ongoing tally budget. And Alex, if I
Chime in.
misstate, please chime in. So we won't carry a balance from year to year, so the money that we show now, if we don't add to that at all, that will kind of go back into the pot, as it were, and we'll kind of start with a clean slate every January, but that in no way means that, or July, yes, sorry. That in no way means that we've lost any funds that we've accumulated. That money is still there and still accessible to us.
Right.
Just going forward, we're not going to see it reflected on our financial reports
So
every
if
month.
we decided we wanted to do something and buy a piece of art for X amount, $8,000, we still have $9,000 to pull from. It's just not,
Basically, what
tally
the
sheet.
sentiment was to we all need to relax a little bit and make sure our budget is approved. And if our
Oh.
budget is approved, those pieces of things that we'll cover. I think we worry a lot more about our budget and finances than a lot of other commissions, and because we've always been working really hard to justify ourselves and make sure that we're breaking even.
Yeah, we always try to come into black, so.
Yeah, but I think we talked to her and I basically said like, hey, we're really wondering, because like how much effort do we need to be like, do we need to
Fundraising.
be like working super hard to fundraise, or can we like do our piece to fundraise with the grant and with our little pieces here, but then carry on with our mission? Because things came up like how like the downtown commission was charging a huge amount for their food vendors. And that's great. That's what worked for them. And I said, well, we for Arts at the Creek, like we're building the foundation for an event. Also within our goals is to make sure that we're providing business opportunities for people in town. You feel so far away. But to like things like, I don't want to raise our vendor fees to make money, because
Totally.
the whole point of us is to make sure that we are maintaining like an equitable access for creators and building them up. Our point is not to make money off of them, it's to make money for them
Totally.
and to allow them to build themselves up. And within that framework, she was really supportive and said like, yeah, this is what your
Awesome.
mission is about. If we think that all of a sudden, like we go for a year and we've really outdone ourselves or we've spent too much, then we'll have a conversation about it. But as
Right.
long as it's like within our budget, and am I communicating this? Cause
Yep.
that was for me. I wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I
So
don't want
we
to feel
can
like we're.
Still fundraise in the soft sense of applying for grants, but
Mhm.
we don't have to go around
We
to
don't have to be like,
downtown and
man,
be
we gotta
like,
make sure we
beg for
get
money.
50.
can you
Yes.
please like help sponsor XYZ? Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
And
good.
you don't have to worry about making profit. Like it's,
Yeah, coming in the blue, or
Yep,
staying in the
and
black at least, yeah.
It'll be just an expenses column and an income column. It won't be like a balance going against each other going
Okay,
forward after July 1 this year. So
On the other side of that, if we want to spend $8,000 on an art purchase, which we totally can do, that's something that really should be reflected in our annual budget. Otherwise, we're
We
gonna
need
have to,
we should ask for it.
we've got
in
to
advance.
ask for
Okay,
it and,
totally.
you know, kind of plan for it.
And knowing also
Okay.
that the percent for art is like a different pot.
Yes, yeah.
So that
Okay,
was sort of
because
the clarity
I
around
feel
that.
like going in the past, it has been kind of like, oh, this is we have, like I
This
said,
is what we got.
$9,000. Hey, let's get an awesome sculpture for the city and we can spend up to $9,000. It's like, so going in the future, we could still say, hey, let's do that, but we have to find that artist, figure out that money, and then ask for that money, and then it'll
Mhm.
be a future thing, not, okay.
And the only
Okay, yeah,
piece,
that
the
sounds
only
fair.
piece of that that's a little bit overly confusing is because our grant does not run the fiscal year. So like we have the grant money now, but technically we're not really gonna spend a lot of that until
Right.
July, which is technically the next fiscal
Next
year. So
fiscal
that's like the one little hitch that's a little bit funky about ours, just because of the grant and the fiscal year piece.
With our grants, do we have to show that, I mean, we would have to
We
show
do by
that we
this time
spent it?
next year,
Okay.
or by what, December? Right, of next
Oh,
Yes,
year, you have
before,
to do.
well,
your
before
grant.
then, yeah, we have to count.
We have to
Well,
account
we have to
that we're
account for
spending
that.
it on what we asked,
Yes.
Mhm.
what we told them we would
Yes,
spend it on.
yes.
Yeah.
So we
that
do
makes
need,
sense.
yeah, we do a report for the grant
Okay.
after the fact.
Okay, yeah.
Does that mostly answer everybody's questions about but it made me feel like, okay, we can breathe a little.
Totally.
Cause I want to make sure that we're still running these events where we're making it really equitable for artists who are up and coming to participate. I
Yeah.
think having a low vendor fee is really important.
Well, yeah, and it's, it's a stressful thing and I could see it turning off people that might want to be on a committee or might want to volunteer or something, knowing like it's not in everyone's purview to go and like ask for money, you know what I mean? And it's like knowing that's okay, that's not part of it, we don't have to go and ask for sponsorships all over town in order to do our events or
It's
whatever.
like just a renewed breath of relief and we
Totally.
focus on our goals,
Yeah,
which have been like approved or in all the bylaws, like we know what we need to be doing. So,
totally.
yeah.
That is a nice little breath of.
Yeah. I think we worry about it more than everyone else, but I think it's
We
also,
totally do.
that's also I mean, we all know that's the nature of the arts, is that sometimes if you don't justify yourselves or you're not like,
Yeah,
then it's really easy for people to write you off. So, I mean, we just get nervous about those things.
Yeah.
So that was positive and clarifying.
Good.
So when I realized I didn't write a piece in about the budget, but that's sort of in the business here. So do we want to get to that? I'll jump into we don't have any mail. The mail and correspondence has all been applications. So we've gotten 4 or 5 submissions for poetry in public places.
Ooh,
Lots of those poets have submitted many things. I know at least 3 others personally that are working on things to apply.
great.
And some applications coming in for Arts at the Creek. We already have, I wrote it down. I'll get to that later, I guess, but
Okay.
that's, the correspondence has all been related to applications.
Okay.
So nothing, aside that. Still haven't heard from PGE. Radio silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's disappointing because they've been really supportive in the past, but I'm not done sending annoying emails. I don't have a phone call. I don't have a phone number yet, but I'll work on it.
May I ask a question about the planning meeting? I know it's a little bit regressive, but I thought I received an email from you that somehow I was volunteered to help raise money and you would talk to me later. I don't see that reflected here.
Oh,
Um,
right. We did talk about that at the planning meeting.
Yeah, we talked about going to go talk to Reliance, but that was
I didn't see
before we
that, so-
talked to the budget.
Okay,
talk
but
about
that's
budget.
not.
I think we're taking a beat
Okay,
there.
good. I just needed, it's not there.
I think
Okay.
within the budget that Deborah has put out, as long as our budget is approved, I think we'll be okay without
Okay,
that immediately. If you're interested in doing that with me at some point, I'd be more than happy to do it, but it's not like on our must do.
sure.
You seem like you're really good at that, so it's a good.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to go
Tapping your
after,
expertise.
That's
I would like to
even-
go after some other grants, just
Even
because
though,
it gives us the possibility for growth.
oh
and
yeah,
I'm-
even though you weren't there, we were like, you know,
We need to do
whose
this.
thing this
This
is.
is-
This is Beth. This is
really
Beth's
valuable,
thing, so.
But if we could make that connection with Reliance again, that would be amazing because they were a large donor to the commission and to Summer Celebration for many years.
Mhm.
So if we could just get that foot in the door there.
Yeah.
Well, I think
Hopefully
a lot
that
of
could
it's sort of
happen
that-
again.
It's that
Yeah.
foot in the door, 'cause then
Yeah.
it's like, then it could be like a yearly thing.
You have a
We talked about that
relationship.
With PG, but there's such a turnover of
Mm.
people that are
Mhm.
running it. It's like we're talking to a new person every year. But you have to be like,
There were
remember how you
3
supported?
this year.
Yeah, 3 this
Three.
year alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe just
It's a lot.
reopening that relationship without even needing to ask them for it, just reestablishing that.
Yeah, and I'd be
going
more than
forward.
happy to go in. It's been, you and I can maybe chat about that. Okay, so then, we'll just move on to the updates piece. I did go to the Civics Academy, spoke really rapidly about all of our projects. There were a lot of people there.
Mm.
A lot more than I anticipated. So it's a bunch of people that are taking the civics course, basically from the city. There were a lot of people there. And at least one friendly face that I knew, so that was comforting. They asked a lot of questions. It was kind of fun to share. I felt bad because they'd just gone on a mural walk and they're like, we've just seen all the wonderful art you've done. I was like, it's wonderful. It's not
Not
us.
us.
Yeah.
I was like, we did just write a letter of support for their next mural. But they also, there were some questions that came up about volunteers and how people could volunteer. So it seemed like a really interested group of people. Several people I know that have been on commissions and things before that were a piece of it, like faces I recognize. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I sort of just talked about our main things we've got going right now. And spoke really rapidly and then ran out the door because it was like toddler hour and it was quick. And then we already talked about the budget piece, the water bill advertisement. We learned.
More about the budget piece though.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Why don't we talk about that? Because then the water bill thing is like a
Okay.
later days thing.
So I have the draft of our budget request, so take a couple minutes, look it over. This is the time where if we decide there's something else that we really want to do, let's get it in here.
Mm.
I'll have to say that I think $500 for poetry in public places is very tight.
Okay.
I think if we're paying, I forget what it was now, $25 a
100.
sign.
And 100 for each.
Yeah, and we've got, I think, 400 in fees, don't we? 2 readers? No,
It was
300, yeah.
$100 for each.
reader, and I
Reader,
think
and
again,
$200
$200
for
for
the
the graphic, that's $400. And if we want to do more than 10 signs, that's,
Like
250.
750.
yeah, so
Okay,
I would go
that's-
at least 750.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's just make it an even
Mhm.
800 then.
I think you should have a line item also for the summer passport, even though it's mostly just printing. The fact is there's some supplies that go for
Yeah,
it.
that's the piece
Include-
that we
it's
wonder about
included.
it's,
In programs and city events, we just
Oh.
did 1,000 for all of those different little things that we do
Okay.
throughout the year.
I see it.
it's right here.
And we can add more explanation in there or do like a supplementary thing with
Mhm.
this if we want.
No, that's fine. I didn't see
Okay.
that, so thank you.
That's, yeah, as we go forward this year, since we're sort of like shifting yearly about what we're doing, we should sort of note what comes under that little umbrella. That's a good call to get an umbrella for all of this.
I know we talked about pulling back on some of the classes offered and really pushing online local artists. At some point, as we get into the next calendar year or our financial year, do you think we could take one of those artists and have a focal point at a restaurant or someplace supporting them?
I think we
Yeah.
could, and I think that could fall under that umbrella. That actually came up in our planning meeting as like, we didn't
Mhm.
have our whole commission and we are hopefully gonna be getting 2 new people. So those were sort of like those little micro things that we've talked about, like featuring them
Mhm.
online or like having a youth artist or
Mhm.
promoting them and having them lead a workshop. Were things that we talked about, kicking to the September planning meeting when we had a full commission again.
Mhm. I'd like to see that $1,000 increase because it's covering a lot of territory there, especially if we partner with existing functions and have a table and there's going to be some overhead
I
more.
like what you just said about that promotion, like
Mhm.
of artist and I want to put that into that main category of their EAC programs, city events, and
Promoting local artists.
what's a good term? You look like you're about to say something. What do we want to say for that? City events and artistic promotion?
Local
Yeah.
artist promotion.
Yeah.
Okay,
And put a call in there, online promotion and micro events or something. Keep it pretty vague because we don't know what we're talking about yet. So don't commit big.
Yeah, that would be, and I know that I'm sure like Mossy Rock or Spiral or not Timbertown, the brewery.
Time travelers.
Thank you. I bet a lot of them would, donate like in kind or, would be flexible on space and stuff like that. So if that is what you're thinking about, I think that could, and I know, isn't he on the Downtown Estacada Commission?
No, but Julie Colton is.
Right,
So-
and so it's like there might be some, like lots of, some crossover with other commissions, so. Yeah, I think that's a cool idea.
what are you thinking? Money wise, what would you bump up to?
Or for that,
Mhm.
I really think that's going to become a big part of our commission to let the local artists carry the weight of the presentation, but we set the venues and the venue can change. So I
Yeah,
would
set a
say around
venue,
1,500
Pay for some refreshments type of a thing.
of a line item by itself. Yeah, refreshments, it's set up of table,
Yeah,
all that advertising for them, but then let them carry the weight of the program.
yeah,
In my experience with doing budgets too, is you always want to ask for a little bit more than you absolutely need because they don't always
Well, that's
hold
basically
together
what
to.
they-
This is something new for us. If we do 1 or 2 events, I think
Yeah.
that's good for
Yeah.
us to get started, to see if this
I
is
was
really a
speaking
direction we want to go.
specifically about that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that we don't want to say, we could get by, we could probably do poetry in public places for $500, maybe 450.
Mhm.
But it would be nice if we had $800.
yeah,
We
and
could
then,
do exactly what we wanted to do.
and then all the money just goes
Yeah,
back to
and
the
then if
city
we,
that doesn't get used.
if we
so-
get 9 poems out instead of 10, we can adjust that.
Yeah,
But if we want to do 12, we might not be able to.
right, yep,
And somebody is going to say, oh, that's too much for that. That
Right.
happens that happens everywhere you put up budgets, yeah.
but you said 500, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
well, learn my lesson.
Yeah.
take the Arts at the Creek back to 7,000, which is what we talked about at the planning meeting, and just take out the detail on the other side and just leave them as just a list of like, these are all of the things that we are going to do.
Okay. Just list the
So with
functions and not the dollar amounts.
There's your packet over here. If you would like to come and look at it.
In here, would you like a chair?
We welcome
So
your
with that-
opinions.
With that, do you want to just summarize the changes you made so we can approve your changes and then it could get?
Okay,
Because we have to submit it after this meeting, basically. right?
well, it's gonna go to Sadie to look over
Yeah.
again, but yes. All right, so bumping up Arts at the Creek to 7,000, and I'll take out the specific events.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong.
That's
yeah,
okay.
I got it. I got it.
Under EAC programs, city events, changing that to EAC programs, comma, city events and local artist promotion, and increasing that to 1,500. Poetry in public places, 800. Haven't looked at chalk prices, so I might as well bump that up to 400. Unless we want to change that.
I'm good with that. Chalk
Okay.
doesn't go bad if it doesn't
Yeah,
get out.
yeah.
It does not go bad.
And then,
Okay.
and the library went halves on that with us,
The
right?
library carries the other.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that's great.
And then I'm gonna also make a note under the CCC grant received in January 2025 will be spent in fiscal year 2026. And then I'll adjust the total and the anticipated need from the city will change.
Do we need to officially approve?
Yes.
I would like to move to approve.
Right, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Budget is approved.
Awesome.
We'll
Thank you,
send it off
everyone.
and
I
report
wouldn't
back.
trust my math for
Thank
sure, but I've got 13,300.
Thank you for reaching
better
out
check it.
and getting that clarification about everything. And explaining it to me like I was a child, because when it comes
Oh,
to
we
stuff
have
like that,
lots
I
of
kind of am.
questions.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a work plan ready to go for council too?
I can have it ready to go
Okay.
by the next like 2 weeks. We are kind of
Okay.
waiting on finishing this, but we
Okay.
have basically what our outline
Cool.
is.
Sounds good.
You also asked me in the email to provide, you put a 2 to 5 year plan, but we decided in our last meeting to get rid of the 5 year.
1
You
year.
said we'll do 1 year, maybe 2. So I
Right.
took the edited copy and just dressed it up a little bit for 2025. And so you can rip this apart and edit, add to whatever you want. So I tried to delete the activities that we're not doing anymore. And there you go.
Great, well, that will help me with the work plan.
Yeah. And
We can kind of work on that and make sure that the work plan and the
Last
budget
year-
are reflecting each other nicely.
Last year for it, I basically did like a chart. I modeled it after what the DEC did. It was just sort of like the event, what's like the plan is for it, the timeline. So.
Okay.
I will put in a piece about the local artist promotion and sort of have a little bit of TBD on that.
I think what's going to help us is if we can put together some type of little video. And knowing it's going to be pretty amateurish to start with, but just to talk about as part of this that you hand them, and a little video history of what
think
we're doing.
This just is basic. The work
Okay.
plan is super basic. Am I wrong? I mean, Alex? She was suggesting that we do a video to go along with the work plan. And I'm,
Is anyone gonna watch that? Yeah,
that's just,
yeah.
I just worry about, we could put it on the website. So it's up to you guys.
Maybe
I think, what would-
revisit in the fall meet.
well, and it could be,
'Cause
what
we-
would be great and is something that I would love to do for Arts at the Creek this year is hire somebody to come and take some video and take some pictures. Just comfort, because we talked about that last year, going around and like
Yes.
interviewing, and so if we could take some Arts at the Creek, take some summer passport, get some of those visuals, then we can have a real impactful, instead of throwing something together now where.
No,
we
I'm not talking
pop
about now. I mean, some focus, we should be able to capture
Yeah.
what we're doing and
I think
the
that's a great
vision for
idea.
not only what we've done and what we're
Mhm.
doing, but what we want to do. And in applying for grants, there's a part, do you want to put a video on? And we really need to have something to give people to know what we're doing in Estacada. And we can even have a little snippet about 120 years, how we're going to move this forward 5 years to have a big blowout. But we need something like that even for our grant.
And we talked
application.
about that because we got some really beautiful grant
Yeah.
support letters.
Mhm.
And it's like getting that on video. I think it's worth the time and expense to have somebody like professional come in and like.
And doing the video, doing videography and photography, that's a great way to support local artists.
Yes.
And then so throughout the stuff we do at the summer, have a couple of the like arts at the creek, maybe the chalk walk, maybe, what was the other one? You just said it, the summer passport. And out of those
Poetry in the
three
park, all
things,
that, yeah.
having someone take video and still, and then edit something together that we could all look at over by the September planning meeting, maybe?
I think that's a great, I think we need to be in collection mode over the summer.
Yeah,
Collection of those things.
yeah.
And we'll hire somebody to do, we gotta hire somebody to Arts of the Creek, cause all the pictures are my pictures and it's me running around like a chicken with my head cut off, being like, oh, pictures, here, see, we did the thing. Okay, we did it,
I'm
good.
putting that-
So
I'm
if you want to
putting
add
that
a
in there.
summer
Photography.
photographer, yeah, videographer.
Cause I
that's
think
gonna
you're right,
be-
it's such an investment in the future of
Documentary,
the
yeah.
event. Yeah, documentary.
Need it.
So let's make sure we take a look at this. I don't think we'll do that tonight necessarily. We want to make sure that when hopefully we'll have some new commissioners. And then we can really talk about it as a group when we have.
And this is
group.
only 2 years.
Yes,
So that's
2-year plan.
the 5-year stuff I just deleted.
When I wrote, I was like 1, 2 to 5. I have no idea what we landed on. Okay,
Once we get those new commissioners, we should really start seriously talking about the percent for art
Mhm.
and meet with Elena again and go over that. And Bev, I don't know, if you missed this, I think. And I don't,
Yeah,
actually
it
don't
was at
know
the
if I,
planning meeting.
at the-
Planning.
yeah, so the gist of what I got from Elena is that we are not tied into having this super specific committee of this person that was on the architectural team and this person from the site and this number of community members and all of these very specific things, because that for whatever reason, was not put into the city code bylaws things. So we are not bound to that. That was an internal thing that the commission had done a long time ago. A great document, but it was also very limiting because it was setting up a lot of
So
roadblocks
intensive.
for us. So I think we can get with Elena again and maybe approach it a little bit more loosely.
Mhm.
Figure out what amount of community engagement we want to have and then create a committee within ourselves and bring in other people if we want to, but to get some of those projects going that have been on the back burner for so long. So I don't know if we'll get that in the budget for this year.
I don't think it needs to be. in
It doesn't need to be,
budget.
or is that gonna
It's
be
a
in the work
separate-
plan for this year? Or are we
It
gonna
can
deal
be-
with
I
that
can
more
put
for
in-
September?
Why don't I put that in as just an exploration?
Okay.
That we will continue to explore and take action on the process. Because it's not that we're saying that we don't want a process, we need a simpler
A
process.
simple, yeah.
So, I can add that in as like we will get a better pen. Can I borrow your pen?
And so maybe for a
First things
September
first.
planning meeting,
Gotta start
that might
working
be a
on it.
really good.
Yeah, so
To
I'll
dive
add that
into
in there,
that.
like we will work on developing a process. So that we can really get that going, a simpler process, but something that we're all comfortable with and that the community will support and we can go forward with that.
Awesome.
Is that something that you might be able to help with? Public art and percent for art, just kind of pointing us in the right direction for developing our process for that?
Probably.
Oh, yeah, if you're,
And sorry to hijack your agenda.
Fast.
no,
Sorry.
I'm glad
All
that,
your
That-
stuff.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I feel like
So I've seen different cities who have different percents for art. I don't know exactly what their process is because I, unfortunately, unlike Alex, I'm going to point you out, do not work for a city. I don't work for the county either. So I don't know exactly what the internal process looks like for that. I can ask around and see what their sort of wording is because it feels like it's all some level of internal documentation from what I can
Mhm.
tell. Yes, if that
Awesome.
helps. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's great that you all have it though. I'm like,
Might be worth sending out when we get closer to that conversation, sending off some emails or doing a little research with other arts commissions.
yeah, absolutely. I don't remember if I said this at one of the last meetings. But we have like a arts groups and councils committee where it would be great if someone had the time. It's a once a month Zoom meeting during the day, so probably not someone who's working during the day. But it's an opportunity to connect about precisely those issues with other arts committees and councils and commissions throughout the county.
We would love to be a part
Yeah,
of
and that
Love
would be
to do
great.
that.
Great. I'll send you the info.
I also have a close contact who was instrumental in
Yes.
exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, great.
In the Happy Valley.
Yeah, I've got to get clearance.
Report back.
To say, yes, I will come and. Yeah, so we've got access to a wealth of information.
I think that would be a great thing for us to tackle in the fall. When we have sort of our breather time. Okay,
There you have it.
poetry in public places is trucking along, like I said. I don't know if we don't really need a new update. We're continuing to pump it forward. And it.
I'll just
closes
say
it.
that Alex has been extremely helpful. She got our flyers up where they're interactive online really well. And been printing stuff for me and you all have more copies. If you're not going to use them, leave them. I'll take them and try to get another dozen places. And we also got in the billing newsletter this
All right.
time. And I'm sure that's a
I saw
staff
that.
process and any way we get it out is good. And I did, in my contacts, I did another update on the first of the month saying there's 2 weeks left. And so I think there's still
Can we do a
time to,
repost?
Yep.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I think there's still time for any contacts you want to push them again.
We've gotten some really beautiful submissions.
Then we'll see if we don't have any visual art yet, but I suspect they'll come in at the last minute because I think it takes more time.
The graphic art.
They have to make a design for the signs that leaves room for the poems of a certain size and includes logos.
So we have to
and
figure that out.
thank
If no one applies to do that, then we'll have to do a little.
We'll
ask for it.
we'll find a way to do it internally, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
We do have a few specific people we
Yeah,
can ask
mhm,
as
yeah.
well.
mhm.
Okay.
And if you see any place that I would just say that the businesses were very receptive. I got one turned down and that was just a policy and everybody else almost put them up before I could leave the room, before I could leave the store. So that we have good rapport in the community and makes it a lot more fun to do this stuff.
And then art in the library, we just have the one.
Well, I don't have a good update. So far, we've only received one submission for the 120th anniversary show. It's a beautiful piece by Merrick Stanton, Koho Salmon, absolutely lovely.
Should we make a
Yes,
sandwich
so-
board and wear it to First Friday?
Well, I'm planning on going to First Friday.
I am also
and-
going this.
And
week, yeah.
talking, and I
Carry a
really think
flyer.
if we could get into Spiral's artists, their co-op meeting and just remind them, like, I know y'all have done Estacada themed work in the past. Come on,
If you
let's
guys are
see
gonna
it.
Go, will you find out about when the co-op meeting is? Because it would be
Sure. Yes.
great for, like, we have got to establish a connection with.
I
with
did
them.
drop off flyers for there and I talked to, it's co-op, so it's a
Whoever's
different
there.
person working every time you go in.
Mhm.
But I got a very warm reception and the woman was like, I know that many of our artists would be interested in this. And I even gave her I think I gave her a copy of
This-
more of a paperwork type of a thing. What was it?
What's the one that?
Oh, the
was for
artist
art?
agreement?
Yeah, I was like, I just want you to have one copy of this, just so they can kind of look it over, but you know, it has everything in here. And she had, you know, very engaging questions. Can they still be for sale and this, that, and the other? And we had a nice long conversation. So if you haven't heard anything back, it's not for lack of like enthusiasm, at least on the part of the person I talked to.
Well, I've similarly had good connections with an artist at a time who's there.
Mhm.
I think it would be powerful to be there at the co-op meeting.
That
just
would
to
be
say,
great.
Hey,
I've
we are the
never
Arts
known
Commission
when
and
their
we wanna
meetings
connect
are.
with all of you. Like if we
Yeah.
could, I just think it's really important for us to.
I specifically have told Steve I wanted him to be home to watch Dottie so I could go this Friday though, because I want to see the glass show. But it looks really cool and I'm not taking a 6-year-old to it because I don't want to own
Literal hole in a china shop.
$750,000 worth of broken glass at the end of the night. But yeah, I mean, I can see, I'm sure we'll see people there we know.
So I don't know if any of you have his contact information, but former Arts Commissioner Carl Haugen would be a great person to talk to.
Sent a lot of
He's in the loop. He knows.
Yeah,
Lots
it's,
of emails get sent.
yeah,
I will go ahead and put, I'll do that trunk upstairs and I will put together quite a sizable collage.
oh, I did see something. I was going into the pharmacy to get a prescription and you know, behind the,
picture.
they've all the pictures. And I was like, where are these pictures from? We're doing a big thing at, you know, at the library for the 120 year. And I think there's even going to be some stuff in City Hall and this, that, and the other. And they were like, call our corporate office or something. So
You're gonna create
that did not go anywhere, but I was like, can we just borrow those pictures for like a week?
All right.
Come on.
Well, there's a brief pause. I want to put a footnote on the poetry in public places. And I did get on the Arts Alliance. I wasn't sure that I had done the online stuff properly, but the posters were up there. And I also contacted the Clackamas and Mount Hood Community Colleges, the art teacher and the English faculty, art teachers and English faculty. So I just wanted to get thanks out, an official document to other places that had been supportive.
Apologies, Dave. Alex, you didn't say anything. We should have said that, did Dave did you see the email? You know what I'm talking about, Alex?
From Salem, is that it? Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm having this, my brain is really full.
That's what I did. I know. I'm sorry I cut you off, Bev, because I had the aha too.
There was a question about,
mhm.
And Jake responded to me the other day.
oh,
I
good,
just-
okay.
Yeah, there was
You did
a
respond.
school
Okay,
district
great.
from Salem who wondered if it was because of the Clackamas County stuff that we put in there, if it was restricted. And I said it was not restricted to that, but it might be part of a final decision
Okay, great.
that we
I
would
just didn't
give
see the-
preference to local people if it got close. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
So I just made that up. So if you don't like it, you can
It's your
tell
turn.
me.
All right, Alicia, do you want to jump in with your
Um,
parks updating art
yes.
in the park?
So I went and spoke at the Parks and Rec meeting last week and I asked them all sorts of questions. And the first thing is they are absolutely amenable and are, I think, going to rename Art in the Park. Steve sweet talked him a little bit because, you know, I've been working on him at home. And so, you know, he was telling him, you know, they have signage for their event. They're, you know, it's more of like a thing like Arts at the Creek
Oh.
is more of an established thing than we have for Arts in the Park. So even though, you know, it's a good name and we had it first or whatever, that kind of had went out, but they were very amenable. I was blown away. They were super rad about it. So they don't know what the name's gonna be this year. It's probably a wash. I think it was already in the light in the phone bill or the water bill. But for next year, for sure.
Cool.
So that's one thing. Vincent is leaving. He has resigned from Parks for personal reasons. So I did forward to Steve to have to forward to Vincent the youth vendor info that you emailed me. I don't know what's gonna happen with that now. Steve will be the point person for art in the park, for artists formerly known as Art in the Park. So that's an easy one,
Family event.
to update, yeah. They are open to help from Isabella at the school. Because I think their youth liaison resigned as well, but if
Yeah,
if
no,
ours is willing to help promote at the school, they are willing to take her help.
She's more than willing. I emailed her and let her know
Okay.
I would hear back from you about it, but if there's like a flyer we can get to
Yeah.
her. Like once they create a flyer, I'm sure she said there's like a board where she can put up stuff like that.
Perfect.
Um,
And then they are open and I think wanting now to get their own signage for events. They have concert dates. If anyone wants to write these down, they are set. June 26th, July 10th, July 24th, August 7th, and August 21st. With a new time, it's 6 to 8:30 now, which they think will help being out of the direct hot
On Thursdays. right?
sun. And they're on Thursday, yeah, they'll, so
do
they're,
they have a lineup?
they do
Okay.
not, but Casimir Effect is not booked for them this summer. They were saying something, I think,
I'm hoping Mike was hoping to coordinate with them to make sure we didn't overlap.
well, so I don't think they have any of them booked.
Okay.
But I specifically asked about Casimir Effect because, like, was it last year that
We're
they
already
played
booked
2
for
days
it, yeah.
apart or
Mhm.
whatever? And I was like, we got him for the
Yes.
26th of July. So
Yeah.
don't you dare. And they were like, no, we don't have anyone booked yet. But I think Casimir Effect, I don't want to say turn them down because they're so great or whatever. I'm sure if they were double booked, they were very kind about it, but I think they had wanted them and they weren't available.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about that.
But you're our liaison to the parks.
Mhm.
Know someone special there. It would be lovely if we could have, or talk about having a table of crafts or something that would be a sneaky way to advertise our event on the 26th, but with their concert on the 24th,
Yeah,
it would be a great place to leverage, be it passing out chalk or
So
something
last,
to let us to leverage them
That's-
coming on Saturday.
yeah, I've been to every concert at the park with a table and a sign and
Mhm.
flyers last year and the year before. And I go to farmer's market too.
Mhm.
I'm like a one-woman promotion in June and July.
We
I got
need
it
help.
covered.
We'll help.
yeah.
I'm not gonna go, I
Well-
love company, but like I have my sandwich boards and
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, yes, so yes. we're on it.
Yeah.
But especially on the 24th.
Yeah,
I mean, to
I
get
went
out
to
there
every
and.
concert before Arts at the Creek that summer
Mhm.
with flyers and sandwich boards and just sitting there talking about our stuff. So, yeah,
Good.
we'll definitely do that.
Also, this just occurred to me, if that first concert, June 26th, might be a great one to show up in the entire group or however many of us can go to hand out the summer passport.
Very nice.
It's the very beginning of summer. Lots of kids will be there. I hope, 6 to 8:30, so depends on the kid, but
we
that
handed out a
might
ton
be
of those
a
last year,
nice
so-
push to make. So yeah,
All right, great updates.
that's the
Well,
update.
and let us know whenever they get and when is the Art in the Park happening?
Oh, it
Like
was,
the 10th?
I think it was the Mother's Day. Yeah, they have it. That's the one thing I did not write
I feel like
down.
it's the 10th. Tyra's like, hey, I'm here. It's the 10th. Hi, Tyra.
May 10th?
May
May
10th. I got
Yeah.
confirmed.
Is they doing the 2 to 4 again, or do you know?
I did not hear about any time changes or it
When
wasn't
they're
brought up.
ready to, if they have like promotional stuff, just let us know so we can co-promote it.
Well, yeah.
Because last year I pushed for them, like it's co-sponsored with Parks and us because we did so much of the legwork for it. So we co-sponsored it last year.
Does it say, you want it to say co-sponsored on the promotional materials? Is that
Yeah,
what you say?
absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's what we did last year.
Oh,
We were the ones making the promotional materials.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Um,
Co-sponsored.
I can tell Steve to pass that on to the next meeting that
Mhm.
it would be great if we
And if
were,
they need help or they want to use any of the visuals from last year, I have all that stuff on Canva. from
I
that
did
meeting.
tell them, so I told them everything you told me, that
Okay.
we've got the registration form, we've got,
Reinvent the wheel.
Yep.
If they want to use what I used last year.
yeah, and they were amenable to it. It was, Vincent was he their chair?
Yeah.
Yeah, so with him gone, I'm hoping that, I mean, everyone, they're all wonderful, capable adults, so I'm sure they'll all pull together and it'll
Yeah.
be great. But I'm not sure who is taking on the lead of doing the online stuff and going through the applications and stuff like that.
Just let me know if you need me to send that to anybody or share it, share it in the drive.
Yeah, and well, you and I need to talk about the drive because I need the volunteer stuff for my
Yes.
part of Arts of the Creek.
It's not too much of a black hole. I can lead you through it. Okay, great. All right, and the only other thing I had on here, I should have had the summer passport. I just have the one update about the summer passport. And that was Alex sharing that for the putting it in the water bill, double-sided and color would be $486.
I'm gonna send them our last year's and just see at just a double check.
And
Cause that
yeah.
full color picture,
That's-
I was
that's a
like,
lot of color.
ooh, yeah, so I'm gonna send that to them.
Didn't we
Yeah,
talk
we
about doing
talked
it
about-
black and white?
We talked about doing that black and white this year.
So
I
that-
haven't
Oh,
had a
okay.
chance
It
to
could be
reach out
like
to
a
Doing the
coloring
map black
sheet.
and
but it
white.
probably wouldn't be that saturated.
Right. Yeah,
So-
so that's something to think about.
It'll be
I'll
in the
send it out.
ballpark of that.
Yeah, I'll send it to them. They were super fast
Yeah.
responding to me, so I'll just send it and see like, hey, how much would this be?
Right.
Just so we'll know, so.
I
And we
haven't,
just, it's only been 2 weeks since we last talked about, I don't have like a new draft of that yet, so I want to get that done in April. So hopefully for our next meeting, I'll have like a draft so that we can really like have that going out at the end of May, early June.
I have a summer
Working on it.
passport, little bit of an idea that I just had. We were talking about going to the concert. Would it be hard to get it in our budget if we wanted to buy like little 5 color packs of crayons and pass out like, at that
Not with it.
June 26th concert, pass out the passport with the crayons,
That's an idea.
captive audience. My kid will stop and color anywhere, and then it's, obvious, like it's a coloring page on this side and then you do the other side,
Jerry, there's a lady who gave testimony at the DEI committee portion. I came in later or at the end before the city council started. And she is specifically focusing on activities in the summer to keep kids safe or to help them be safe. And she has
Was
a
it
bicycle
Tyra?
program.
Oh, it's her.
Was
Look at this.
that you? Do you remember me talking to you? Yes.
Would you
So
like
I
to
wanted
step
to say she would be wonderful. Oh, there, I'll set you up for success any day.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it'd be good to partner with.
She
her.
also asked about the Civics Academy. We didn't talk about you all night, Tyra, just bringing you here.
Thank
Fantastic.
you.
So, I am the Estacada Prevention Specialist with Todos Juntos. So I have a few projects going and that's why I'm here, actually. I want to invite you guys to a few of those. First is tomorrow. I know it's super late notice because there's been so much time between all of my kids and all of the other things happening in life, including the flu, to get to every single meeting of every committee and invite you guys, but it's the community cafe. So on the backside, as a prevention specialist, I run the Estacada Prevention Alliance. We're doing this community cafe where we're discussing the things that affect youth and positive behaviors. So youth mental health, youth substance use, community volunteerism, how that impacts youth and youth houselessness, and discussing risk factors, protective factors, and helping keep our youth safe. So one of the things that, obviously Todos Juntos does summer camps, just like the library does different summer activities, and just looking at how as a community, these things that we put on, like Arts in the Park, Art in the Creek, all of these different things as a community help create a protective factor for our youth. So that's one of the things that we'll be discussing. So I wanted to invite you guys because each of you guys have a different perspective on the community and what's happening here, what we see going on with our youth. So I'd love to have you guys join that conversation tomorrow. The other thing that you'll see there is a bike rodeo and summer safety fest. That's just my name for it. Basically it's to hopefully kick off summer with an idea of what recreation is available for youth, what activities are happening for youth, and how to do them safely. So hopefully we can address, substance use with youth because that goes up. We see it happen every summer, usually sometimes with devastating effects, unfortunately. But also addressing, bike safety. We'll have a skateboard safety clinic there while we're there. Hopefully we'll have somebody there for gun safety, water safety, all sorts of different, if it's safety related, it'll be there and hopefully have some sort of fun interactive activity. But I would really love to be able to help you guys promote some of the things you have going on because what you do does directly affect our kids. And so this would be a really great opportunity if you wanted to have an introduction or first, second introduction, however you want to have it be, soft launch of your guys' summer passport. Because this is something that is also helping provide a healthy outlet for kids and can encourage them to participate all summer long with what you guys have going on. Hopefully the next Parks and Rec meeting, I'll make it to theirs and be able to offer this, include them in as well in this project that I have going on. But I'm looking for, I'm thinking if you guys want to put together a table where you guys would, have a booth and pass out the passports, talk about what, Arts in the Creek is right after that. So you can have advertisement for that. Not Arts in the Creek. Arts in the Park is right after that. Arts in the Creek is later in the summer. Getting them all mixed up. But yeah, just love to have you guys partnership and be a part of that because I'm trying to just bring together the community as a whole, raise awareness for what's going on and especially how we can help support them because the more they have to do that's healthy recreation and full of healthy relationships with adults that are supervising and taking care of them and they know someone cares about them, the more resilient and healthy our youth are going to be and survive summer, hopefully. So with as
Are you
few
gonna
injuries
be-
as possible.
Are you going to be involved in the National Night Out at all? Like table?
I'm
dinner?
hoping to. I've got to figure out who's in charge of that one. I think
That's the Traffic
really-
and Public
that's what it
Safety
is, yeah.
Committee.
So I'm hoping I can be involved there. I would love to be a part of basically anything that's going on all summer. Because every chance I have to interact with parents
you-
and youth is a good thing.
Have you reached out to Luke and Tanley Spencer at Clackamas River Outfitters about the water safety? Because
Not yet. That's
they,
on my list.
they're amazing people and I'm sure that they would
perfect.
love to be part of it and they're great community members and
That would be
uh,
awesome.
yeah.
All right. I will definitely be doing that.
Let's chat more too, because I'd love if you have any Todos Juntos events that we could put on the
Mhm.
summer passport.
Yes.
We're looking for like really specific
Definitely.
things and we'd love to put your stuff on there.
Yeah,
So
we're still planning the summer events, what specifically each age group is gonna have. We've been kind of in a holding pattern because of
Mhm.
grants and all the fun stuff happening right now.
yeah,
But we should hopefully have those here soon, so I will definitely be in touch with that one as
Good.
well.
yeah, let us know.
Also reach out to the Downtown Estacada Commission. They do a
Yes.
monthly newsletter.
Oh,
Um,
perfect.
and they post all the events that the city puts on. So
Awesome. Thank
I'm
you.
glad to hear from you because I saw that you registered for Arts at the Creek, but it was under this and I was like, who's that? And then I saw your name and I was, oh.
Yeah, I'm just multifaceted.
I love it.
Maybe a little too busy. I don't know.
Thank
We
you.
love your summer
Yeah.
camps, the Todos
They're
and
really
summer
great,
camps. My
so-
son's been involved in them since he's in fourth grade now, but since first grade. And they're always
are-
awesome. Are you guys gonna do a Philip Foster's Farm one
I'm
again?
not sure yet. That one, so each of us kind of specialize in a different age group.
Right.
And then I'm the odd duck out. So I don't necessarily get to plan the same stuff, but I'm mainly over middle school. My baby right now is to provide stuff on Fridays because the statistics show with that 4-day week of school, Fridays, you see it, sunny day, you've
Mhm.
got youth all over the place and not a
Mhm.
single adult in sight. So
Mhm.
that's been something that I've been working to establish at the middle school is how can we get things on Friday to really fill up and hopefully.
With some adult supervision. Yeah, that's
So,
great.
hopefully though, I'm really hoping I can get us another skateboard camp here in Estacada.
Nice.
So that one was really big hit with I think we had 18 middle schoolers.
Are you
So,
involved with someone, isn't there someone that is doing that skateboard?
There's somebody who's doing like classes, like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a local
I just
person.
found their website
Okay.
today actually, and I
cool.
was
Oh,
like,
great.
"Whoa, yes."
Perfect.
So,
Awesome.
yeah, that's one of the things I'm hoping to be able to get put in place here as well, so.
And when will the skate park be done?
The splash
You mean the
pad.
splash
Splash
pad?
pads,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's in a month or
yeah.
less.
Yeah, I was told it will be done by May 2nd because they were thinking about having it kind of open and revealed at this event. And then they're like, yeah, we're gonna do it on the 4th instead for the, I don't even know if I know the name of that one, but there's some other thing happening on the 4th. May is really busy. So
Estacada
that's kind of,
cleanup?
it should be done by then, huh?
Is Ellie's event
Yes.
Estacada
I
cleanup,
think
maybe?
Yeah.
It's on that water bill, I believe. I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was.
something to do with the environment. That's all I remember, but I
Like a
don't think I've
solve
heard a title,
cleanup? Yeah.
so.
Very cool. Thank you for
Well,
coming.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Well, I have a framed photo of my son in pioneer garb churning butter, and I'm dead determined to get one of my daughter like that too. So, yeah, I'll have to, if I gotta take him to Philip Foster's farm myself, stick him in there.
Awesome. Well, that was the perfect entry point for her.
Yeah, that was great. Perfect.
Jesse, can I say something real quick?
Of course.
Tyra, I also want to thank you for coming to the council meeting, even though it was a pretty, appreciate you coming and sharing it with us at council. So thank you very much.
And Tyler was my friendly face at
Where
the
am I
Civics
looking
Academy. I
at?
was like,
What
oh,
am I looking
I'm
at?
gonna be. That's really, I mean, there were a lot more people there than I anticipated. That was really cool. Thank you for being a friendly face. Okay, I just have the last two pieces. I'll say Arts of the Creek stuff really quick because we're just in motion and I like to give updates as we're going. Our only youth vendor so far is Isabella, so we're working on that. Yay, Isabella. Like I said, we have 9 vendors that applied. We have 9 community organizations who have confirmed. We have Kettle Corn and Christie's are confirmed. And I've had a whole long conversation with the folks at Timbertown Grub who are considering coming. They said, it's sort of a financial conversation with them because Saturdays are really busy for them. Like a Saturday in the summer, I pleaded and said, we could put a sign in front of your cart that's like, see us uptown.
Yeah, totally.
But they were really great. I talked to both Lynn and her husband, whose name I'm forgetting at this moment. Tom, Lynn and Tom. And just good conversations with them. They suggested for our like size of event that having like 2 solid good food vendors and then a bunch of small things would probably be enough. You don't want to do too many, otherwise the food vendors aren't going to be making very much.
Totally.
We're in the kind of chicken and the egg situation, but they're really supportive of community events. And so they said they would get back to us. The good thing about that is if we can get them on board, that will be like solid
Yeah.
people. Like they're not gonna flake on us. They're really solid people.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I found out that the downtown commission, what the vendor fees were. And I went, they were charging $150 for food vendors to show up. And we're like, will you please come?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give you a little money.
Yeah.
Dude,
So I spent like $20 at Christie's like last year. I was like,
yeah, so we're just working on it. We're a different group though, and we have a different vibe, and
Yeah.
that's okay. And plus we're uptown. It's a lot harder for people to stumble upon our event. So that's just the long and the short of it. And our quilt is done. Cool. I have a picture of it. I can show you guys after. Yeah. It's beautiful.
So I had a question while we're still on food vendors. Has anyone thought to talk to Grammy's Donuts?
We've talked about it.
They have a pretty set schedule in the summer.
Oh, really?
They're very flexible. They're kind of like Fridays were always here, Saturdays.
Well, I
were
just
always
didn't know
here.
if anyone had ever approached them.
I don't think so, but I think I think they go to Gresham Farmers Market on Saturdays. which means They're
Gotcha.
like Buco. I mean, I don't know that they're that flexible. No one has ever talked to them though, so you could definitely bring that up.
Okay, yeah,
Somebody
because I don't mind approaching them. Because I think we had talked at our subcommittee meeting about maybe if each of us kind of reach out to some food
Mhm.
vendors, maybe it's not all on one person's back.
I did my
Um,
part. I talked to Timbertown.
I know you did. That's why. So I could,
Yeah.
I've already talked to Bo Blastic. I'm still waiting for confirmation and I can I can bring it back up again and
Maybe you
put
and I
it
can
back
meet
in their
again
mind.
soon to chat more.
And I can talk to Grammys when I'm getting some donuts and feel them out. one more thing about Arts at the Creek. What, with music, is Mike even after leaving?
Mike has said he is committed to helping us with Arts at the Creek regardless.
Okay, that's my one
We will
thing.
have to make sure we're going out of our way to make sure we have those conversations and things
Yeah.
get locked down because we won't have this built-in check-in time.
Yeah.
But he said he is committed to helping,
Okay,
to continuing to
good.
help.
So we're not having to go find our own music
No,
now.
that would
Okay.
be a nightmare.
That'll be next year.
That'll be
That'll be
nightmare.
next year's nightmare.
I'm gonna bug Mike forever if that's this is his thing now. This is his life now.
Hey, he did say he would volunteer anytime we asked. So.
Yeah, he's more than happy to contribute to community events. I think.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think we can still rely on that.
Okay, whew, okay.
On the commissioners and our terms though, Alex, did we talked, and I can't remember if we had like a follow through conversation about Isabella and if we can just continue it or not. Does she have to reapply? She said she would like to reapply in the email she sent me about tonight. She's like, I would love to come back. Do I need to reapply? And she does not.
It's
like, should we-
can just send hers because she
Great.
didn't really have a-
It was like August or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so she said that she can go on.
Good.
2 more years.
Great. Great. She would like. I have it on writing. Excellent. Okay, and I will let her know. And then the last piece was just our community updates. We talked about it briefly already. The Spiral Gallery is about to have a really cool glass exhibit coming up. Kathy Cullenburn is coming up next week or this week. And then Clackamas County Arts Alliance has their Copyright the Law and Arts Free Workshop in Oregon City coming up. And then one more thing came through, the call for artists at the Happy Valley Sculpture Garden. It's like a 2-year rotating sculptural exhibit. They have 8 sites all around the town. So there's more on their website as well.
That's cool.
Does anybody else have any community arts updates or?
I do, starting on March 17th, the summer reading bookmark contest is starting at the library. It's for ages 5 to 18. Design a bookmark, and I might open up the judging to the community this year, or it will just be library staff. So we do a winner that gets the bookmark that we print up, and then we also choose 3 random from each age group. So even if the littles are applying and entering, they still have a chance to win. And the prize is a $10 gift certificate for the runners up and $30 for the winner from Artsmith.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When you guys do that, like post for it, will you let Alex know or so we
Oh,
can
yeah.
repost it? That'd be cool. All right.
Community comment.
Yeah, one more community thing. Friday, Skip a Week Quilt Club, who we all love, of course. They're having a big fabric sale at the Garfield Grange. In
Ooh.
case anyone's interested.
Yeah.
And I
Love
wonder about,
fabrics, yeah.
for the art in the library, it was March 15th is the due date. Are we gonna
Yeah.
extend?
Oh, we're definitely gonna extend it.
Repost.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Please
extend and
repost
Repost,
often. And
maybe to April
share
15th.
and ask if you know specific artists and see them, please ask them.
I hunted
to
down on
submit.
Facebook and like commented a bunch on some Facebook people that have shared historical photos on Facebook. I went through and like was like, hey, check out this. Trying to track some people. Awesome. Can we get something?
Yes.
About more arts things happening.
Yeah.
Sure.
Saturday on the 8th, as a matter of fact, they're playing a fundraiser for the, I believe it's the musical.
Yeah, at the high school
Oh.
or for the high school. It's Jerry, do you know it's, oh, you don't know. I think it's at the middle school and it's for the high school program.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Well. I don't know, I can just close my computer. Are we ready to adjourn?
Yep.
All right, it's adjourned 7:38. Thank you. You want to see a picture of the quilts really pretty?
I do. And then I want you to tell me where to